What's going on, guys? Got another video here. Today we're talking about skill add-ons. Skill add-ons, I get a lot of questions about skill add-ons, and honestly, I hope to cover everything there is to cover about skill add-ons. I'm not going to cover very heavily on the PvP side, because the PvP side really depends on the current gear meta, whether that be a DR meta, an evasion meta, an accuracy meta, or a AP meta. But for grind spots, we can already kind of, it's pretty simple for grind spots. And you can kind of apply the same fundamentals of grind spots to actually PvP in a lot of ways. So when we're going for our skill add-ons here, and we're looking at these, we have to say, what are we doing here? What's our purpose in choosing our abilities? Well, obviously, you would want to put it on your skill add-ons on abilities you frequently use that are very common to use. You might want to reinforce the abilities that you're already using a lot. So maybe you want more HP on Bloody Calamity. You might want more crit on Midnight Stinger. You might want something like attack speed or cast speed, right, depending on your class. You might want to have minus evasion, bonus accuracy, bonus damage, lower the monster's evasion, extra crit rate, extra crit damage. So first we got to decide for PvE who our opponent is going to be. What grind spot are you grinding at? And depending on the grind spot you're grinding at, your skill add-ons are going to change. So all the hadum grind spots, the monsters have high DR and they have high AP. So what this means is if you have a DR build, you're going to be fairly useless against the mobs here. If you have an evasion build, you're going to be a lot better off. If you're trying to DPS to mobs, you're going to want to have a lot of AP. You're going to have a lot of damage to shred that, because AP basically counters DR. DR counters accuracy. Accuracy counters evasion, and evasion counters an AP build. So with the monsters having high AP and they have high DR, as a player, if you're trying to kill them, you want high AP yourself in order to counter their DR. And as a player, if you want to build tanky, you build evasion because the monsters are going to have a lot more AP. So that's basically how you want to build against the monsters here. So our skill add-ons are going to reflect that. So if we're trying to get our skill add-ons for anywhere in hadum, we're going to go in here. We're going to pick our common abilities. Violation is the most common ability on Sorceress. So you want to go in here, and you can see here they have minus DP, and that's minus DR. That's what that is. So we can go in here, and we'll find an extra minus DP, and we'll add it on here, and that will reinforce. That'll lower their DR and make us able to counter their build better. Minus evasion isn't going to help us a whole lot. Why? Because the mobs are DR. They're not evasion based. And again, accuracy is not going to be that important in hadum. It still matters. Don't get me wrong. It still matters, but it's not going to be near as important because the monsters aren't running that much evasion. Monsters have very, very low evasion overall. So your amount of accuracy doesn't need to be that high, and your minus evasion doesn't need to be that important. So we're going to do minus DP here, and also you could do other things like crit rate. That's another thing you could do here, or you could choose to do crit damage. Those are other options here that'd be fairly viable, or cast speed on a skill, or crit rate. Those will all be pretty good, but I'm going to go with monster damage here because this is high. This is lowering their DR, and this is raising my AP. So this is countering their DR, their attack, and that's going to amplify my damage in 2 ways at the same time. And so that's why I would go with this in this particular instance. Now, let's say we wanted to get Violation, but instead we're going to be going to Sycria. We'll go to Sycria. Maybe you want to grind over someplace in Odolita. Maybe you want to grind someplace in Sylvia. Maybe you want to grind someplace in Valencia. Well, the mobs in Valencia, the mobs that stars in, the mobs at Sycria, the mobs in Sylvia, and the mobs in Odolita are all evasion-based mobs that have fairly high accuracy. You can still get at the very, very top end gear. You can still evasion can still be very good here, but evasion tends to be about equal to DR, when you're at any of these spots because of how strong the monster's accuracy is. So if you're building against, let's say you're trying to go to Sycria, for example, down here. Sycria Underwater Ruins. If you're trying to do there, maybe you're going to Histria. Instead of doing minus DR on our violation and extra AP, that's kind of silly because we already know that the monsters generally have high evasion. So extra monster AP, although something we should definitely keep in mind, it's actually more important to go for accuracy here. And it's actually more important to go for evasion. Now, I like picking abilities that synergize with the core skills. So in this case, what I would probably do instead is I would actually go back here, I would redo one of these other ones, and I'd pick a skill that has minus evasion on it. So in this case, I have Turnback Slash. Turnback Slash has minus 3% crit rate, or evasion rate, and as it gets leveled up, you get more evasion rate on it. So we can go in here, we can do extra accuracy, and we can do minus evasion. And so this reinforces our build, again, against a evasion-based target. So let's go over here and look at our skills. So this is Turnback Slash at level 3 as minus 9 evasion, and our skill add-on is going to add an additional minus 4. So that's going to be a total of 13 minus evasion. And then we're also going to have the plus 4% accuracy rating. Another skill that you can use this on for Sorceress in particular would be Shattering Kick. Now, for your class, you're probably not playing Sorceress, right? So you'll need to find a ability that has an accuracy buff already on it. So in this case, on Sorceress, it's Shattering Kick. That's what we're looking for here. So Shattering Kick has 6% accuracy rate on it, and so we can add another skill out on the Shattering Kick. And so we'll change out this one to Shattering Kick if it's in here. It is not in here. So we'll look for another ability. We can do Beat Kick. Beat Kick also lowers the DP of the mobs. So that's another one we could do. We could also add it on to possibly Midnight Stinger. We already have Midnight Stinger learned. Anyway, this hopefully I kind of proved the point. I was hoping Shattering Kick would be in there, so I could give you another example. But the idea is you pick your skill add-ons for the grind spot. So if the grind spot you're at is in Valencia, Sylvia, Odalita, Starzin, Sycria, those spots are going to have high evasion mobs, so you want to pick accuracy and evasion. If you're in a place like Hadum, the mobs are going to be primarily DR, and so you're going to have minus DP, which is minus DR, and you want to have extra monster AP. Generally, what you want to have is you want to have about 2 of these. So if you're doing if you're going up against DR, you would generally do 2 for monster AP, 2 for minus DP. You do 2 for cast speed. So that'd be 6 of your skills total. You would have 2 for cast speed, and then you would have some additional ones in there for crit rate or crit damage. For a evasion, you'd basically have in here 2 for accuracy, 2 for minus evasion. You'd have in 2 for monster AP, 2 for attack speed. You might have in some mana regeneration on a skill or some HP regeneration on a skill. And then you might also have crit rate as well, or movement speed. Those are generally how I pick my skill add-ons. This hopefully educates you. There's not one true build that's the best of the best for skill add-ons. This is why a lot of people have a really hard time understanding how this works. So hopefully I've educated you well enough on skill add-ons to help you pick the correct build for where you're currently grinding at. We're going to do another version of the same type of thing for crystals. So if you're looking to have a basic understanding of crystals, then you know, stick around, check out my YouTube channel. There's going to be another video that's going to cover what crystals to build for a accuracy / evasion grind spot, and what crystals that you're going to need for a spot that has DR mobs that have high AP. So we're going to do that, and hopefully that'll help you understand what crystals to build after this. Thank you so much for watching the video. This video is made possible by my Twitch supporters. So check out my Twitch channel at Potion Shop TV. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you next one. Bye-bye.